Hi, and welcome to Odyssey of Ascension. This is Roxanne once again. Thank you all for tuning in. Just a reminder, we're starting to take questions for the next Q&A. That'll be done on the last Wednesday of this month. I have no idea the date, but it's in a few weeks from now. So start sending your questions in. We've already had a few, and keep on bringing them in, and we'll usually have about 40 questions to answer over a couple of days, and that's lots of fun. So go ahead and send them to the comments below on this video, or my email, which is again rswainhart@gmail. So that's rswainhart@gmail.com. And thank you all for tuning in once again, and let's get the channel out. Okay. And greetings to you all once again. This is Ocyphius. We shall have a speaker. So speaking in the idea of that of Seth, we would like to offer a new idea. It is truly reasonable, it is truly equatable, it has reference, it has algorithm. It is understood. It is understanding how, in some of your unknown ways, you receive stuff and just clarify them instantaneous without your typical use of knowledge, learning, studying, research, leading from one point to the next, to the next, to the next, and then appearing educated. And the ideas like that. In the idea of Roxanne, she has opened her up field, opened her up to a expansion field is better. A field that goes to the edges. And within that construct, she can reach farther without understanding. For she uses vibrations of known in understanding to connect. So let's say this. Let's say she is well versed in connecting with the fairy world. Well versed to connect with that of Sylvester and his understanding of creation. Well versed to connect to Ocyphius. And I am using Ocyphius' vibration. There are similarities, but I am truly not that of Ocyphius. What I am doing is connecting to Roxanne from a distant idea of vibration. It is not space, it is not time, it is not distance, it is not over there. It is here in the now, in the extensions that you are now receiving, for your allowable field is allowing that, in its simplicity. So Roxanne can check in with Ocyphius at any time. She is comfortable with the vibration. Her relationship to that reality is that of knowing. It is coalesced in its wholeness. So it is easy as talking to a 3D entity in their physical world. Simple. So I use that vibration as a co-creation to connect with Roxy. I am on the outskirts of her reality. I am not translatable to her current now. I am channeled by the channeled as well in that idea. So I'm using Sylvester's, Ocyphius, tangible ideas of reference points that is comfortable with Roxy to connect. So in this case, Ocyphius is a bridge. And in that, there are connections. Those connections are made with frequencies. Those frequencies are unknown and untranslatable if there was no bridge. So the expansion of the self is utilizing sources of reality, creation, to expand the self in what you want, what you call evolution, revelation. Choose what you will. So I am a species. I am an entity. I am an incarnation in this now. I am that of 7 to 12 feet tall, depending on the idea that I choose to be. We have no algorithm of height. We are independent of such ideas. We are our own self in our moment to expand. We are limitless. But we consider ourselves to be a species, that of third density as well as fourth density. We travel between the two densities to understand ourselves in this now of expansion, to see the possibilities of creation. We are that of light blue. We have very long necks. We have, let's say, a skin that is almost pale blue, and what you would call a little bit subterraneous idea of translucent. You can see into us, but not through us. Those kind of ideas. We have what you call this kind of idea. We have one mitt and a thumb. And this is our hands. And we are bipedal. We have legs. And we have what you call feet. And we are on, let's say, a density that would not be equatable to your third density, except for the ideas of what you call physical. We have a completely different system. It is physical, but everything is different, right down to the idea of how we receive. And this is relevant in why we're here now, to offer understandings. And right now, you are understanding. But the reliability of your senses tells you maybe you don't. And that is, of course, for you to deal with. What we are truly offering, that you may not be aware of, is your idea of perception. That is limited, but there is someone knocking at the door, is there not? Do you not feel something different right now? Don't look for it. Don't try to feel. Do not be the feeling. Allow the feeling. And the being will come. And to understand how we perceive would not be equatable. But this is why we are here, to offer you different ways to receive creation. It is from our understanding and referencing this conduit, many have spoken on the new ideas about your other senses that you have not known of, neglected, of course not your fault, for you did not know. Your ignorance of other senses were that of that in itself, not known. So in that idea, we would like to offer vibration once again. Transcendence of what you would understand your senses. But your mind is hurriedly seeking, something mysterious maybe. Something of nature that would tell you it's real. And this is idea of time and idea of referencing. There is a species among you that is a master at this idea. Those species will make themselves known to your planetary system as well as your, let's say, collective whole. Your idea, ascension, let's say, species among you, and many of them know them already, but some do not. They are what you call your Martian civilization, that are no longer Martians, because they no longer live on Mars. They are among the humans now, and they will represent themselves upon an idea of awakening. You know them already. They are your Sasquatch, an idealized Yeti, idealized skunk ape species. There are two species among these ideas, one that being that of the skunk ape, and one being that of Bigfoot / Sasquatch / Yeti. Dependency upon, of course, the environment and the perception of each individual culture matters not truly. These ideas, these species, these Martians, will speak upon things that we are relevating now. Things of senses. Senses to perceive reality. Dependency and reliability on what you call reality is through the idea of what you consider sensibility. How you receive life. You understand, through of course your quasi-physics, are now showing you that everything is just an interpretation of a vibration. Yes, it does travel down the idea of electrical inputs into physical reality through your idea receiving mind, and then translate it into a memorable reference point to understand your here and now. But the dependency on that is no longer needed, and these offerings will expand that in and of itself. And these offerings are vibration, sensing you in a new way. They are bouncing off of your understanding. It has now been recently discovered within your species that your heart has intuition. The physical heart can be intuitive. It actually has, let's say, yes, brain receptors is the most accurate translation. So in those ideas, you are seeing your idea of feeling your idea of reality in what you call equatable logic. It is something, of course, to believe. It is not needed to believe. It is an offering. It is not a must. It is an offering. It is a choosing for you. All have you been choosing? All of you will continue to choose in your own ways in time to understand yourselves as a forgotten or amnesic God. Choose what you will. So in that idea, the vibrations of all of the channels, every single one of them that you've ever perceived in all of your nows, represent an idea that cannot be sensed with your idea of your 5 dependent senses. Those senses are now telling you there's more. That is your wisdom within. And you receive them through your senses of thinking. So in that idea, there are ventures that you may take. There are ideas to trust. There are ideas to watch yourself play out. What you already know will play out. It is not creating it in that idea. You're not making it happen. You are sensing a probable now that is most likely in your now to come true. And you are excited about it, and you are not trying to change it. You are not seeking the proof of it any longer. And this allows the magic, in your terms, to happen, and you just know it does and will happen the way you perceive it. Because you are now seeing the nows from a standpoint of time. And they are always given in the sensory idea of your non-tangible senses first. They are delayed with your idea mind of achievement, your idea mind of knowing, your ideal mind of logic, your ideal mind of that of separation. And now you are diminishing, and things are starting and will continue to change as you choose them to be. Roxy's senses are open. She can reach beyond her senses. She is grown dependent in one way and independent in another way. She is appetiting, much like logical idea humans do, the new unknowns to play with. So she's excited about it. And she will drag some of the logic up with her and try to figure it out, but soon she will know it's not needed, and the continuation of the unknown flows in uninhibited. So in that idea, she feels me in a new way that she cannot explain. There are no words. The interpretation of what we look like and what we feel like are independent of Roxy's own translations of herself, and then being translated are now independent on how you subjectively see your universe. So all of you know what we look like in your individual mind, and they are all correct. For now, we are pushing, if you will, into, if you will, your reality, if you will, what we are, what we look like, what we represent, what we offer, what we vibrate at. And now, there is really nothing to hear about it. Now, there is really nothing to talk about it. There is no more words to give you. What it is, it's all there for you. And now, you can now feel us. And then, little by little, bit by bit, in your nows of exploration, the coalescing understandings come into play, effortlessly, beautifully, uninhibited, and they sink in, lock in, and a remembrance is understood about who and what you are, the individual singularity of all that is. Most exciting times for humanity. There will be many connections of your unknown, for there are many species that are unknown that are presently, let's say, being with you, co-creating at different levels. The ideas of your fairies you know about quite so. Your ideas of your Pleiadians and Blue Evians and your Syrians and your Arcturians and your Greys and your Hathors are all very relevant and very understood. And understood to the capacity of the acceptable framework of yourself. There are more that, quote, know more than others. But those are each individual worlds to feel and explore among themselves. It matters not in comparison. Do not travel down that limited road. But the idea behind this is to understand that there are more there for you now. And they may be reached with senses that are not tangible in your idea of memory, in your idea of feeling, sensing, tasting, touching, researching, logic, thinking, everything you have grown dependent on since you have birthed. And what you are is becoming and reaching the senses of the whole into play. You will be unfamiliar and maybe uncomfortable with these ideas as you travel down this adventurous road you have chosen to be upon. Your choice, of course, is still a choice, truly. So in that idea, you will hone your skills in that fashion. You will become comfortable with different realities of frequencies, and how you translate and relate to them will become more and more tangible acceptance to the individual as a truth to behold. How you behold it, when you behold it, is again not ours, and certainly not your concern. All will be given in the perfect now. And with these new idea bridges being built by your new perceptions of reality, you use your knowns to expand into the unknowns. Because the known of the fractal is not coalesce certain ideas. Doesn't mean you have to wait around for it. It means you just push yourself out there a little further by knowing that you have an extendable idea using different frameworks of creation to use as, let's say, relay stations, sounding boards of jumping from one to the other, bridges, if you will. So play with these ideas, and we will, let's say, return and offer some more clarity to humanity. But the introduction is what we are here for in this now, to experience you through the perception of the bridge that we have built only but one time with the idea conduit you perceive before you today. And it is most energetic, and many are joining in to feel humanity in a way of receiving that we have not experienced before. So it is truly a gift we have given ourselves, and we are, let's say, etherically high-fiving each other in your terms, because it is most epic. And now you can perceive the same. Be a new idea to yourself, entities. Do not use your knowns to, let's say, equate logical movement for purposes of outcome, for purposes of meaning, for purposes of, did I waste my nows? We have loved that always since we've heard Sylvester say, through an idea of a reflection, that of Pi, another higher self friend of Roxy's and others in this co-creation, you cannot run out of nows. You have the ultimate do-overs. And it's called now. It is only regret of time that keep your nows timed and numbered. So in this idea, we would like to depart now, and thank you for the opportunity to connect in this way. And you may join us. It is easy to connect to us. Our species is unknown and untranslatable, but it will be translatable and equatable now. You don't need to know our names, or do not need to, rather, thank you, Roxanne, to, let's say, know that, for it is not needed. It is transient information that needs not to be, let's say, coalesced once again in this now. Just feel us first, and let your imagination run wild, if you will, and you will start to see and hear and feel us in different ways, and you will trust these ideas, for you are ready to trust the roadmap to creation, that of Sylvester's quote, your imagination. Truly. We shall depart now, and it has been an honor in your words and ours. We bid you a good day. What is our time, Rita?
19 minutes.
Wonderful. Righty then. Wonderful. We shall return on Friday with the idea of the Sasquatch. This is Ocyphius. We bid you a good day. Adore. Beautiful. Oh,
That was awesome.
that was great. God, it's like I could feel him, but I couldn't feel him. I couldn't feel him.
It was the feeling like, okay, the control room at NASA when they have a really successful launch. Okay?
Yeah,
It was like that.
yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
It was like, woohoo!
Yeah.
We connected.
Yeah. It was like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you Friday. Apparently the Sasquatch are going to stop by and say, hello. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye.